Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about Cardi B and Atlanta record beef, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And to my cinema cronies, drop the flex emoji in the comments. Now, a lot of people been wondering what's going on with Cardi B and why she haven't dropped an album. And basically, it appears that Cardi is on the outs at Atlantic Record. Now, DJ AKADEMIKS gave us more insight to this. Cardi B, when she was on the label, it was like Kevin Lyles, a lot of people, and basically AKADEMIKS said those people would glaze her. Now, I wouldn't see it as glazing her. I would just see it as her being a priority. So when you look at the situation, you say, yo, she one of the hottest artists we got. Everything she touched is gold. It goes platinum. It goes everywhere. We making a lot of money off of her. So let's move forward with this situation. But now, a lot of those older people have been fired who had those relationships with Cardi. And now the new people that's in the building essentially just looking at the numbers. They saying, okay, so they say that Cardi B told them that she wanted to drop drop a single, let it build for 8 months, and then come back. And the label is like, listen, we're not spending $3 million, or it was, $3 million on a single to push it, to get it where we need to get it, to build it up to #1, for you to come with an album within 8 months. And basically the way they looking at it is, yo, by the time that 8 months go, the steam around this album is going to be down, and then we're going to be in a position to where we're going to have to spend $3 more million to get a new single going and then drop the album. So they probably 10 million, and they're like, hey, it's no way that we may recoup this. And now we also have to understand that Cardi B has been famous for so long that she's probably renegotiated her contract, especially since she was in a label with a bunch of people who loved her, had admiration for her. And, you know, when you have a good relationship with somebody in business, I'm not saying all the time, and I'm not saying this what happened with Cardi B, but sometimes them people can bully you into doing things that you don't want, or sometimes they can guilt trip you into doing things you don't want. Yo, I thought you messed with me. I thought you rock with me. And now you giving this person a $3 million budget, and then you waiting a year for them to come back and do another single, then you waiting a year. And during that time, you just look up and you be done bled like $10 million. And that, by the time that artist finally come out and drop that, you probably end up making $2 million back, $3 million. And the reason I mention the contract, because I highly doubt Cardi B is in a 360 anymore. So if she's in a 360, it makes sense to them, because when she go on tour, they get a piece. When she drop merch, they get a piece. If she in a movie, they get a piece. But if she's renegotiated her contract to where it's favorable to her, where they only make money off the music, it's like, okay, we'll spend $3 million, but we're not spending $3 million to only get $1 million back. That's not a good business decision. So basically the hold up with Cardi is that they not letting her create, or I don't want to say create, because she can create in any way she want, but they not letting her just go about the business of putting out music how she want. They want to put a strategy around it. They want to be strategic. And she just like, yo, let's drop this out. Let's see what it do. And when you had that relationship at the label, you can kind of say, okay, I want to just drop this to see what it do. And sometimes they'll be like, you know what, you've done so much for us, you help us get, you stay in the black, you da-da-da-da-da. But then they end up saying, nah. And then another thing we have to take into account too is that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beef cut Cardi B fan base in half. And Nicki Minaj is a legacy act. She been around for 20 plus years. So she has a fan base of people who gonna support her no matter what's going on. And so Cardi B beefing with Nicki Minaj before she blew up to the pinnacle of being legendary kind of hurts her career on the back end, because she don't have that same type of diehard fan base. Now, when Cardi B is on the Shade Room, when Cardi B is dating somebody new, when Cardi B is venting, yeah, those people are going to tune in. But when it comes to the actual music, it's kind of like a hit or miss. It don't have that same repay value. And I'm not just picking on a woman when I say that. We see the same thing with Boosie. Boosie can get on live and he'll have 100,000 people in his live, or he'll have 50,000 people in his live at one time, because they there for the antics. They there to see what he gonna say crazy. Put your lips on live. Like when I give you $1,000, put your lips on live. Like when you do stuff like that, yeah, people will definitely come to your aid and watch you. Basically, they watching you to see for entertainment, kind of like a court jester. They watching you to see you clown yourself or clown somebody else or whatever it may be. But then when that music come out, it's a disconnect because the personality you have and the music you making don't match each other, and it just turns into that situation. So I guess long story less long, Cardi B don't have the support of Atlantic like she used to, and that's giving her issues with dropping music. And when she drops an album, she has to have the full support of Atlantic because she's gonna be under so much scrutiny. Her last album did real good. She been out for a while, and by her being out for a while, Nicki Minaj has been able to drop an album, do great numbers, build on that, and different stuff like that. So not only is Cardi B up against herself, she's up against Nicki Minaj and the Barbs, and dropping a dud right now, people would see her as somebody who fell off, and then that would take down her cachet. Now, if I'm Cardi B, I get me some type of clothing brand. I get me some type of fashion job. I go into acting. The same thing that Rihanna did. After Rihanna dropped Anti, that was her most critically acclaimed album, and it can only go down from there from an image standpoint. But if you go over to do something else and you drop Fenty Beauty or Fenty the lingerie or whatever it is, right? You drop that, now you have a chance to be at the top of the pinnacle in something else. And then it starts to look like you elevating instead of you running away from music. It looks like you don't have time for music because you're just so rich and you get into a bag and you're a businesswoman. So if I'm Cardi B, instead of running around with Stephon Diggs, twerking and doing all of that, I'm trying to put me a business play together to whereas it shifts the perception of me. And one thing about perception, man, is if you playing in the G League for 10 years, your family excited that first year, they cool the second year, but the third year, they kind of like, man, this boy ain't never going to the NBA. But if you become an executive or a coach in the G League, they like, yo, bro, moving up the ladder. So that's what Cardi B got to do. She got to put her career in a place where it looks like she's moving up the ladder and she's too busy for music. If you're new to the channel and want more celebrity and hip-hop content, hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the subscribe button, you're a part of the Spit Squad. So drop the flex emoji in the comments and hit the like button. And for any Cardi B videos you may have missed, go to the Cardi B playlist in the end screen. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.